Hello friends, welcome to my channel Bookwise. I'm Samir, and in this channel I'm going to talk with you about books and reading. However, in the very beginning I must tell you that I'm neither a critic nor an expert in this field. I'm a lover of books and passionate about reading. So friends, here we won't have critics' judgment or expert opinions. Here we will have some refreshing talks on books. Since this is my first video, I must tell you the purpose behind making such videos. When I was in school, I read a beautiful essay by G.B. Shaw. That essay made a great impact on me. The title of the essay was Life and Learning. G.B. Shaw was absolutely right when he says life is learning. We are learners. We learn from our own experience. Suppose if we made mistakes in the past, we try to rectify them in the present and try not to repeat them in future. This is how we learn from our own experience. We also learn from the experience of others. In this case, books are the most convenient tool to get familiar with the experience of others, the insights and reflections of the great men and women of the past and present can surely enlighten our mind. Their wisdom makes us wise. So friends, with all my love and gratitude to those great authors of the past and present, through these videos I'm going to share with you their wisdom so that together we can learn, grow and prosper in life. Well, today in this video I'm going to share with you the list of top 10 life-changing books. Although I have said top 10, actually the list includes 12 books and each one of them is classic in its own way. So friends, without further delay, let us begin the list of books. There are two books in the 10th spot of my list. The first one is Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. When I read this book for the first time, I was going through a critical phase of my life. Sudden demise of my father left me shocked and shattered. This book helped me to look at life and death from a different perspective. Everywhere I heard and read, our body dies but soul is eternal. In this book I found some real life accounts. I had some vague ideas regarding reincarnation, life after death, but Dr. Weiss, the renowned psychiatrist, clarified a lot of confusion through his experiment on his young patient Catherine. This is truly an inspiring book. It also gives us some introductory or basic guidelines of past life regression therapy by Brian Weiss, which later on became very popular. So, Many Lives, Many Masters. In the same spot, there is another book on the same theme I read almost at the same time, and it had the same effect on me. I'm talking about No Death, No Fear by one of the most respected Buddhist masters, Thich Nhat Hanh. In this book, the cycle of life and death is presented through several nature imageries which make reading this book an exciting experience. The style of Thich Nhat Hanh is always simple yet very profound. Language is poetic. I'm sure you will not be disappointed if you go through this book. No death, no fear, no fear. Okay. In the next one, It's a small but a very influential book. Notes to Myself, My Struggle to Become a Person by Hak Prathar. It is a book about transformation. Prathar honestly acknowledges his flaws, his shortcomings, his weaknesses. He introspects, he works on them, and finally transforms them into his strength. You will rarely find such a book where you will be able to relate yourself so easily, so profoundly. This book is a little gem. In the 8th spot, there are 2 books. Both of them are very popular. First one, Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. This book tells us about the reunion between Mitch Albom and his former professor, Morrie Squares. Morrie Squares shares his view on 14 successive Tuesdays. That's why Tuesdays with Morrie. His views basically concerned with almost each and every aspect of life. It includes regret, emotion, forgiveness, love, family, and many more. This is really a worth-reading book. In the same spot, there is another book, a book by Daniel Gottlieb, Learning from the Heart, Lessons on Living, Loving and Listening. Imagine a young man full of energy and enthusiasm suddenly meets an accident and becomes a quadriplegic. That was happened with Daniel Gottlieb in reality. But Daniel Gottlieb faced the challenges of life bravely and came out with a new outlook on life. In this book, he shares his wisdom, and the greatest lesson he offered here in this book is the lesson on acceptance. This is truly a life changer, learning from the heart. In the 7th place, I have a collection of poetry. I have a collection of Jalaluddin Rumis Poetry, A Year with Rumi, daily readings. It contains 365 poems, one for each day of the year. It's a beautiful translation. I have nothing new to say about Jalaluddin Rumi. He was one of the greatest poets of all time. So, translation is excellent. I have read several versions of translation of Rumi's poetry, and I always feel Coleman Barks is the best. So, read this collection, start your day with Rumi's short poem and see the change. Okay. In the 6th spot, I have a beautiful classic. When something worse happens in our life, our first reaction is, why me? There are a lot of unholy people in the world. Why not to them? Why me? Same was the reaction of Harold Kushner when he lost his son at a very promising age. I'm talking about When Bad Things Happen to Good People by Harold Kushner. Harold Kushner was a rabbi and he was devoted to a religion. But after this incident, he was totally frustrated. He lost his faith. This book tells us his doubt and how he reaffirms his faith in religion and God. This is a beautiful book. When Bad Things Happen to Good People. In the 5th place, I have Jill Edwards and her book, Life is a Gift. Look at the title, Life is a Gift. Isn't it refreshing? Yes, life is a gift. See, we can approach life from three different ways. First, we can approach life as a process of trial and error. We can interpret life as an accident, and we can accept life as a gift. When we accept life as a gift, miracles start to happen. Jill Edwards tells us about this miracle. Jill Edwards tells us how to accept life as a gift and what are the blessings we are going to receive. This is a beautiful book. Very shortly, I'm going to review this book in this channel. Life is a gift. Then, in the fourth spot, there is a spiritual classic by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment, a great book by a great man. Basically, instead of living in the present, we always live in the past or in the future. Sorrows, sufferings, worries, anxieties, anger, all of them are deeply rooted in our thoughts concerning past and future. When we learn to live in the present, our life becomes more happier and peaceful. This book tells us how to live in the present. Eckhart Tolle tells us how to generate this power of now. Beautiful book. Okay, now in the third spot, I have another classic. In the third spot, I have Marianne Williamson and A Return to Love. Reflection on the principle of A Course in Miracles. Although the book is based on A Course in Miracles by Helen Schucman, but Marianne Williamson adds her own insights into the work to give a unique dimension to the book, and she is successful here. When we unmask liars one after another, layers of name, fame, status, power, property, we will reach our source. The source is nothing but pure love. In this book, Marianne Williamson leads us to the center of being the source. This is truly a classic. In the second spot, I have a Chinese classic of all time, Tao Te Ching or Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, translated, a new English version translated by Stephen Mitchell. It contains 81 poems, and those poems deal with each and every aspect of our life. Wonderful read. I always consider this book as a handbook for life. Read this book, enjoy the pleasure of reading it. Beautiful book. I have nothing more to say about this Tao Te Ching. Finally, here is the first book, number one book, Silence of the Heart by Robert Adams. When I first read this book, I spoke to myself, enough is enough. I have no need to read anymore, because this book contains everything. If you have any doubt, go and check Amazon. You will find 9 out of 10 readers expressing the same reactions. Silence of the heart. Robert Adams was a disciple of one of the great saints of India, Ramana Maharshi. In this book, he explores teachings of Ramana Maharshi. He teaches us how to dissolve noise and disturbances in us with the practice of self-inquiry. This book, to me, nothing but a magic. Silence of the Heart at the number 1. So that was it. My list of top 10 life-changing books. I definitely need your comments, suggestions, feedbacks so that our process of growth will continue. Thank you for watching this video. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. Love you all. Thank you.